Hello children, in the last video we discussed the effect of inserting a dielectric slab between the two plates of a capacitor, and we said that when we insert a dielectric slab between the two plates of the capacitor, then the capacitance increases. This phenomenon is called dielectric effect. The dielectric constant is K, or you can also write epsilon R. Clear? Now many times we come across technical questions. For example, here I have a parallel plate capacitor. I am connecting it to the battery, and then two situations can be given to you. Case 1, we are inserting the dielectric slab. Initially there was no slab, remember, initially it was something like this, parallel plate capacitor. These are the two plates. This plate is having positive charge on it, this is having negative charge, and then we are inserting the dielectric slab here between the two plates, right? Dielectric constant is K or epsilon R. So what will be the effects on capacitance, electric field, charge, potential difference, and energy stored in the capacitor? Okay. So what are the effects? Two cases we will be seeing. Case 1, when the battery remains connected, and case 2, when the battery is removed. And you will remember these two cases, very important. Remember whether the battery is connected or disconnected. One thing is sure, that whenever I will insert the dielectric slab, the capacitance will always increase K times, right? Now the difference between connecting the battery and not connecting the battery is, when I connect a battery, then there is a source which can supply more charges if the capacitor can store more charges. However, if I disconnect the battery, then capacitance will increase, but remember there is no charging battery, so charge will remain same. So I will write the two cases. Case 1, when battery remains connected, I will write it here, when the battery remains connected. When battery remains connected, then what all will happen? You should remember this. Case 1, new capacitance C will be equal to K times the capacitance of the air core capacitor, and if capacitance will increase, the new charge Q will be equal to K times initial charge. So these two things will increase. There is charge in battery. Now what will not change is, new electric field will remain same. New electric field E will be same as E0, and number 4, new potential difference PD, V will be equal to V0. So these two will remain constant, and as you are storing more charges, more work will be done, the energy of the capacitor will also increase. So number 5, we have new energy of the capacitor, U will be equal to K times initial energy. So remember, in this case E and E0 will remain constant. This is case 1. Now we will have case 2, when the battery is disconnected. Case 2, when battery is disconnected. When we will disconnect the battery, children, then we are removing the source of external potential difference. We are no longer able to supply extra amount of charge. So capacitance will what? Increase. First one, C will be K times C0, means charges will increase. Number 2, new charge Q will be same as Q0. Why Q will be same as Q0? Because there will be no charging battery. Like you have increased the capacitance of the capacitor, but the capacitor will be requiring more charges and there is no charging battery. I have removed the battery, then remember Q will be equal to Q0. Number 3, new electric field, E will be E0 by K. Electric field will decrease, it will become 1 by K times. Number 4, V will become V0 by K, it will also decrease. And number 5, its energy will become U0 by K. Here it is K into U0, here it is U0 by K. So you have to remember these two cases. Case 1, when the battery remains connected. Case 2, when the battery is removed. Simple problems can be framed on this and you will fail to answer if you do not know these technical points. Now we will be seeing, children, combination of capacitors. Like I told you, capacitors are used to supply large amount of charge in a circuit, and there will be a need to increase the capacitance or to decrease the capacitance for practical applications. So for that we need to combine 2 or more capacitors together. That's called combination of capacitors. So we will be discussing combination of capacitors. Always remember that capacitor is a device which is used to store charges, right? So remember this. Case 1, we have series combination. So what is series combination? If you combine capacitors in such a manner that positive terminal is connected to the negative terminal of the battery of the capacitor, positive terminal negative, positive and negative, positive and negative, and so on. I am combining a number of capacitors end to end like this, and then here I am connecting external battery and I am connecting a key. So this combination is called series combination, end to end combination, in which positive terminal of one capacitor is connected to negative and negative is connected to positive and vice versa, is called series combination. Now if oppositely charged plates of a capacitor of a number of capacitors are connected from end to end, then combination is called series combination. So children, in series combination we are combining capacitors from end to end. Positive is connected to negative, negative is connected to positive, again here negative positive, so on and so forth. You can see this positive terminal of the battery and this negative terminal of the battery. So the two extreme plates here will be bearing the same polarity as the combining terminals of the battery, right? So this is to be kept in mind. Now what all will be special in this case? You can see the battery will be supplying charges like this. The charge will be traveling here and charge on each plate will be what? Same. This combination will be considered like what? A situation analogous to having a number of pipes. You can see these pipes are what? Connected from end to end, and here I have a reservoir. This reservoir is supplying water. For example, Let's see the analogy. So you can see that same amount of water will be flowing through all these pipes. Similarly, in this case, each capacitor will have equal amount of charge. Very important, in series combination, charge on each capacitor will be same. If charge on this plate is plus Q, this will be minus Q, plus Q, minus Q, plus Q, minus Q, so on and so forth, right? And then I'll assume the capacitance being C1, C2, C3. I can put as many capacitors as I want here. So what is important here that you have to remember in series combination? Number one, charge on each capacitor is same. Very important. In series combination, charge on each capacitor is same. Now if I apply a potential difference here, you can see that each capacitor will have a different potential difference. Suppose potential difference here is V1, potential difference here is equal to V2, here is equal to V3. Then if I add V1 plus V2 plus V3, then that will be equal to the applied potential difference. If I ignore the potential difference across these wires, we will assume the wires have negligible resistance. So second thing, number two, applied PD, PD meaning potential difference, V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3, it will just go on depending on how many capacitors you have. So these will be technical points. In series combination, charge on each capacitor is same, and then applied potential difference is equal to sum of potential difference across individual capacitor. So let's calculate the effective combination. Now we have resultant capacitance. You will be given numericals on this. You will also be given to do this derivation, some students on derivation also. I will say let effective capacitance is equal to CS. S for series, C means capacitance and S is for series combination, and charge supplied by battery is equal to Q. So we assume two things. One is let effective capacitance is equal to CS and charge supplied by the battery is Q. You can use capital Q, you can use small q also. I've used small q, so let's use small q. You can use capital Q also, there is no restriction. Now, if I say PD across capacitance C1, this will be V1 is equal to Q by C1, because you know the formula already, V is equal to Q by C. Similarly, PD across capacitance C2, that is V2 is equal to how much? Q by C2, and PD across capacitors having capacitance C3 is V3 is equal to Q by C3. So we got potential difference across the capacitance having capacitor having capacitance C1, also across C2 and C3. Now this effective capacitance or resultant capacitance is how much I have taken? CS. Then we can say that applied PD will be V is equal to Q by CS, because Q is the charge supplied by the battery and CS is the effective capacitance of the network. So children, will put all these values here, but V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. If more capacitors are there, I will be writing how much is V? Q by CS, Q by C1, Q by C2, Q by C3. You just go on. If I cancel out Q from both sides, what do I get? 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 1 by C3, or 1 by C for series combination will be sigma of 1 by Ci. So children, this is the formula we got in case we have series combination of a number of capacitors. You can be given simple numericals on this. Numerical can be more complicated also, more complex in nature, but you have to remember in series combination, positive will be connected to negative, negative will be connected to positive, meaning oppositely charged terminals should be connected together, right? Let us see a simple sum on this. We will be seeing a simple sum on this series combination of capacitors. Here we have a network of capacitors, 2 microfarad, 4 microfarad and 6 microfarad, and the whole network is connected to a 6 volts battery, or let us make this is how many volts? 6 volts battery. Suppose they ask a question, calculate number 1 effective capacitance of the circuit, number 2 charge supplied by the battery, and number 3 PDA cross 4 microfarad capacitor. Suppose you are given this question, you can very easily see children that this network represents series combination of 3 capacitors. So I will say let effective capacitance remember effective capacitance is same as resultant capacitance, right? So it is same term thing, effective capacitance is equal to C. So 1 by C will be how much children? 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 6. Remember, there is no need to convert this into farad. We will keep these values in microfarad only as it is given, right? Later on if required we can multiply with 10 to the minus 6. So take LCM, LCM will be how much? 12. So we have 6 plus 3 plus 2, 11 by 12. 1 by C is equal to 11 by 12, then how much is C children? 12 by 11 microfarad. So we got the first answer. Effective capacitance of the entire network is how much here? 12 by 11 microfarad. Very simply, remember there is no need to put 10 to the minus 6 just now, because we have been given the capacitance in microfarads. We leave the answer also in terms of microfarad. That is perfectly acceptable. Now we come to the second part. Second part is charge supplied by the battery. So charge we know already, Q is equal to C into V. C meaning what? CS. That we got 12 by 11. So 12 by 11 into 6. So how much is that? 72 by 11 microcoulomb. What will you write? Microcoulomb. Or if you wish, you can convert into coulomb also. So 72 by 11 into 10 to the minus 6. Or so this will be in coulomb. Leave the answer here only. You can divide if you want, otherwise leave the answer here. This much of coulomb. Now the third thing they want you to find is this bit technical, potential difference across 4 microfarad capacitor. So children see, this battery is supplying how much charge? 72 by 11 microfarad, and you can see this, the charge is flowing in the circuit like this. Means charge on 2 microfarad, 4 microfarad and 6 microfarad. This is technical thing and you have to note it down. Charge on each will be same, and that will be equal to charge supplied by the battery. So battery is supplying how much charge? There we got 72 by 11 into 10 to the minus 6 coulomb. So we say here charge on 4 microfarad capacitor Q is 72 by 11 into 10 to the minus 6 farad coulomb. And how much is capacitance? C is equal to 4 microfarad, which is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. Remember, as the charge has been converted into coulomb, we have to convert capacitance also into basic unit, that is farad. So I know how much is Q and you also know how much is C. Therefore, PD across 4 microfarad capacitor, children, the formula is V is equal to Q by C. And how much is Q? Q we know already, 72 by 11 into 10 to the power minus 6, and charge is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6. We cancel out these two, 18. So 18 by 11 volts. So we are able to easily calculate what will be the potential difference across the 4 microfarad capacitor. So make sure that you are able to handle this type of problems if you are conceptually clear. So we will now will be doing parallel combination of capacitors, and in parallel combination, children, unlike the series combination, all the positive plates will be connected at one point and all the negative plates will be connected at the other point. Let us see a scenario here. Imagine this situation. I have one capacitor here, I have another capacitor here, and I have yet another capacitor here. You can see that all the positive plates are connected together at one point here, and all the negative plates are connected at another point. So in parallel combination, what you find? All the positive plates are connected at one point and all the negative plates are connected at another point. So we say here parallel combination. Let us see, children, what is parallel combination? In this combination, all the positive plates are connected at one point and all the negative plates are connected at another point. All the positive plates are connected at one point, all the negative plates are connected at another point. See here, all positive are connected at one point and all negative connected at another point. And I will assume that capacitance of these capacitors are C1, C2 and C3 respectively. Now all the left hand side plates, one very important thing, the charge which will be supplied by the battery, here you can see, will travel up to here, and then these charges you can see will be distributed in these three branches. Charges on this side are positive, so I will say this charge is plus Q1, this charge is plus Q2 and this charge is plus Q3. Then you know, in a capacitor there is no conducting medium between the two plates, so charge will be induced on the other plate, equal amount. So this will be minus Q1, this will be minus Q2 and this will be minus Q3. I hope by now you understand it. and since all the capacitors are connected between two given points only, then potential difference here will be same. Bear in mind, in series combination charge was same, here what will be same? Potential difference across all the capacitors will be same, and if I add up the charges Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, then that will be equal to charge supplied by the battery. Suppose, see an analog, the battery is supplying charge what? Q. So Q will be equal to how much? Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. The charge Q distributed on these three capacitors Q1, Q2 and Q3. Remember, Q1, Q2, Q3 will not be equal unless all the three capacitance are equal. Only when all the three capacitance will be equal, the charge will also be equal. So in parallel combination, what we learned, children? Number one, PD across, potential difference across all the capacitors is same. PD across all the capacitors is same. That's number one. And number two, charge Q is equal to sum of charges on individual capacitors. Clear, children? So remember, in this case, PD across all the capacitors is what? Same, and sum of charges on individual capacitors is equal to charge supplied by the battery. Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3, depending on how many capacitors have been given to us. Now children, let us see, calculate here resultant or effective capacitance. What will be the resultant or effective capacitance in this case? Here, let effective capacitance is equal to Cp. C for capacitance and P for parallel. Then here we have Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. How much is Q, children? Q is equal to, we have C into V or Cp into V. Q1 is equal to C1 into V, Q2 is equal to C2 into V, and Q3 is equal to C3 into V. Right? Where V is the applied potential difference. Remember, V is what? V is applied potential, where V is applied potential difference. So if I substitute all these values of Q, Q1, Q2, Q3 in equation 1, then we get, children, from equation 1 CV Cp into V. Cp is what? Effective capacitance of parallel combination. You can just write C also, there is no problem. C1V plus C2V plus C3V will go on. You can cancel out V from both sides. Then what do you get? Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, or Cp is equal to sigma of Ci I1 to N. So here we got a formula for effective capacitance of parallel combination. So you can see that effective capacitance of parallel combination is like series combination of resistances, which you have done in electricity chapter in class 10. So remember these two cases here. First one is PD across all the capacitors will be same, and the second thing is that sum of charge on individual capacitors here will be equal to the net charge supplied by the battery, and the effective capacitance is Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3, so on and so forth. Let us see one typical problem. When you are handling any numerical problems on these combinations, you need to first be able to differentiate as to whether the combination is series combination or parallel combination. And as I told you, for series combination, opposite terminals will be connected from end to end, and for parallel combination, all similar terminals will be connected at one point. Okay, let us see a problem here. Suppose 4 capacitors I am connecting here, for example. You can see all these are positive connected at one point, all are negative connected at another point. Obviously this combination is parallel combination. Now capacitances are 2 microfarad, 4 microfarad, 6 microfarad and 8 microfarad, and this is 6 volts battery, right? So this is network of capacitors, and you have to answer number 1, find effective capacitance. Number 2, charge supplied by the battery, and number 3, charge on 4 microfarad capacitor. So we have to do these 3 questions, and these are very easy. First one, like I told you, when you are calculating effective capacitance, we don't have to convert into farad, we can directly do our answer in microfarad. So case 1, first answer, Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4, because 4 capacitors are given here, and that will be equal to 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8. So 14, 18, 20 microfarad. What answer will be writing? 20 microfarad. This is the first answer. Second answer, charges supplied, not charge supplied, charges supplied by the battery. So charge supplied by the battery, children, V is how much? 6 volts, and C means Cp is equal to 20 microfarad. Therefore, charge supplied by the battery Q is equal to Cp into V. I can just write what? C into V, whatever, symbols are not important, but you have to know C or Cp, that is equivalent capacitance of the circuit. So children, how much is Cp? 20 into V6, 120 microcoulomb, 120 microcoulomb, but we will convert into coulomb, and you know, for converting to coulomb what we will do? 120 into 10 power minus 6, so 1.2 into 10 power minus 4 coulomb. So we calculated how much is the total charge supplied by the battery. Now they are saying what will be the potential, what will be the charge on 4 microfarad capacitor. Now this is a technical question. As you know, the charges supplied by the battery will be distributed on all the 4 capacitors Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Now if you study this circuit, then potential difference across all the 4 capacitors is same, and how much is that? 6 volts. So we will be answering the third part. Charge on 4 microfarad capacitor. Charge on 4 microfarad capacitors will be Q is equal to C into V. We know C is 4 and V is how much here? 6. So 24 microcoulomb, or 24 into 10 power minus 6. For converting microcoulomb into coulomb, we need to multiply 10 power minus 6. So you can also write 2.4 into 10 power minus 5 coulomb. So children, this was a simple numerical that we discussed on parallel combination of capacitors, but we will come across problems where capacitors will be having a mixed combination also. Mixed meaning we can have series, we can also have parallel. So let us see an example of mixed combination, and in this you have to be able to discuss whether the combination is series or whether the combination is parallel, and then we will deal with the problem in a very easy manner. Let us see. We have been given a network of capacitors. This is 2 microfarad, this is 4 microfarad capacitor, and this is 3 microfarad, and here I am giving you a 4 volts battery. Clear? and then our task is calculate number 1 effective capacitance, number 2 charge supplied by the battery, and number 3 potential difference across 3 microfarad capacitor. Suppose this is a typical problem, easy problem, when you try to find effective capacitance and then charge supplied by the battery and PT across 3 microfarad capacitor, right? So let's get started with it. This is very easy. If you look at the circuit diagram, I told you first have to decide what is the nature of the combination. So you can see here positive, these two are positive, negative, positive and negative. Obviously positive are connected together, negative connected together at these 2 points. So you can see that 2 microfarad capacitor and 4 microfarad capacitor, how they are connected? They are connected in parallel. So let's say here 2 microfarad and 4 microfarad are connected in parallel. And children, if they are connected in parallel, then Cp will be 2 plus 4, there will be 6 microfarad. So we found here that capacitance, effective capacitance of this 2 and 4 microfarad is how much here? 6 microfarad. So we will redraw the circuit. This circuit which you are seeing, I can also draw like this. Instead of drawing 2 and 4 separately, I can say how many? 6 microfarad, and then I can join here 3 microfarad, and here I can connect the battery and then close the key. This is 4 volts. So you can see now very clearly positive negative. This becomes like end to end combination. Oppositely charged plates are connected, so obviously it's a case of series combination. So I'll say now 6 microfarad and 3 microfarad are connected in, how they are connected? They are connected in series. Okay, these two are connected in what? Series. So 1 by Cs will be equal to 1 by 6 plus 1 by 3. 6 is LCM 1 plus 2. 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. So 1 by Cs is equal to 1 by 2. Then how much is Cs? Cs is equal to 2 microfarad. So children, we got the first answer. Effective capacitance is how much here? 2 microfarad. Now bear in mind a technical result. If you have been given 2 capacitors here, C1 and C2 like this in series, there is no need for you to write every time 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. You can directly write Cs is equal to C1 into C2 divided by C1 plus C2. So this formula will be very handy for you. You can use it directly if you connect 2 capacitors in what? Series, right? So effective capacitance is 2 microfarad we got. Now charge supplied by the battery, second answer. Q is equal to C into V, and C is what? 2 microfarad. Remember, whenever I will be doing charge supplied battery for the entire circuit, then I will be requiring C. C is what? Effective capacitance, which in this case is how much? 2 microfarad. So I will be writing 2 into V is 4, 8 microcoulomb, or 8 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb. So this is Q I got. Now third thing they wanted to find out is how much is the potential difference across 3 microfarad capacitor. It is very easy. You can see here the charge which is supplied by the battery is splitting in 2 branches here, Q1 and Q2, and finally the same 2 charges combining and coming out here. It's like having a reservoir, 2 pipes, they are carrying water, again is fusing here and going into the circuit. So you have to understand the charge on 3 microfarad will be same as the charge supplied by the battery. Very important. So here I will say charge on 3 microfarad capacitor, Q will be equal to 8 into 10 power minus 6 coulomb. So you got how much is charge on 3 microfarad capacitor. Therefore, PD across 3 microfarad capacitor which equal to how much, children? Q by C. And how much is Q? 8 into 10 power minus 6. Remember, whenever they would want you to calculate PD, then convert charge into coulomb and capacitance into farad, or you can keep both into, if you don't want to convert, you can keep both into micro coulomb and micro farad. So the conversion will cancel out, but better do it like this so that you don't make any mistake. And C is how much of 3 into 10 power minus 6, right? So cancel out this. So 8 by 3 volts. And then they can make this problem a little bit more interesting. They can ask you how much is the potential difference across 2 microfarad example or 4 microfarad. So what will you do? From 4 volts, 8 by 3 will minus. So if the situation is given, then we can easily handle it. There is no problem. Now children will be discussing energy of a capacitor, which is an interesting topic. We get sums also based on this in the exam. Energy of a capacitor. When we started the chapter of capacitance, if you recall, in my earlier videos we have discussed that as you transfer charges to the capacitor, as you start building charge on the capacitor, then you need to do more and more work. The work which you do in the process of charging capacitor is stored as energy of the capacitor. So our next heading is energy of a capacitor. So children, this is basically electrostatic potential energy, and we'll say work done in the process of charging a capacitor is stored as energy of the capacitor. Suppose I give a capacitor and we transfer charge Q to the capacitor. How much are we transfer? Q. Let charge on a capacitor at a given instant is equal to Q, and potential difference is how much? V, between the two plates. So charge on a capacitor at a given instant is Q. Now why is it a given instant? Because as the charge will increase, then potential will also change accordingly, capacitance will remain constant, and then accordingly the work done will also be changing. So we know that Q will be equal to how much? C into V. I'll say this is equation 1. Charge Q can be expressed in terms of potential as C into V. Now see children, if I want to increase potential, means I have to transfer more charges, more work will be done. So I'll say let increase in potential of the conductor is equal to dV. Then how much work will be done? If I want to change the potential by a small value dV, then work done will also be small. Work done dW will be how much children? You already know, Q dV. And how much is Q? CV dV. Because Q we know is equal to how much? CV. Once you got this, we can just integrate this with specific limits, integrating both sides. Integrating both sides. If children we integrate both sides suitable limits, then dW will be equal to integration of CV dV. Let's understand it. When potential is 0, then work done is also how much? 0. Potential is 0 means you have not transferred any charge. When potential is V, then work done is equal to W. If you integrate dW, you get W, 0 to W. C comes out, integration of V with respect to dV 0 to V, it will be C into V square by 2, 0 to V, right. So, if I set up the limits here, so remember when potential is 0, work done is what? 0. When potential is V, then work done is W. Remember, if I increase potential more, work done will also increase accordingly, meaning work will depend upon the potential or the charge which we are building upon the plates of the capacitor. Okay. So, W will be equal to half C into V square by 2 minus 0, or we get W is equal to half CV square. So, this is the work done, but we said that work done in charging a capacitor is stored as energy. Therefore, energy of capacitor is U is equal to half CV square. So, we got first equation. You can see analogy of this energy. This energy is like K is equal to what? Half mv square. K, current a moving body. So, you can see that m is analogous to C and velocity is analogous to what? The potential difference, right. Now, from here we can get many more expressions for energy, like here. But children, we know that V is equal to Q by C. V is equal to Q by C. I will say this is equation 2. If I put it here, then the U will be equal to, children, remember this is U. U is the symbol of electrostatic potential energy. We did this earlier also for a system of 2 charges and more than 2 charges. Similar same symbol we used. U is equal to half C V is equal to Q by C, C into Q by C whole square. Simplify, it will become Q square by 2C. So, we got second formula here, this is equation 3. So, we got 2 formulas for potential energy of a capacitor. We can get a third formula also. We said U is equal to half CV square. I can write half CV into V. And how much is CV? CV is equal to Q. So, energy of a capacitor is U is equal to half Q into V. So, 3 equations we got, half CV square, Q square by 2C, and also U is equal to half Q into V, where Q and V are instantaneous values of charge and potential, right. So, when you are dealing with sums on capacitor, make sure that we use this concept. Okay. Now, total energy that a capacitor has, will be same whether the combination is a series combination or it is a parallel combination. Remember, very important concept. Capacitance, effective capacitance may change when we combine capacitors into series or parallel combination. But whether I combine capacitors in series, important point to note, here U will be equal to U1 plus U2, or whether I connect them in parallel, here also U will be equal to U1 plus U2. So, the total energy of a combination or a network of capacitors is equal to sum of energy on each capacitor, and it will not depend upon the nature of the combination.